Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Brandon Wynn, back again with Critical Failure, and I'm going to try and move this up around a little bit. Okay, it stopped. But we're on the Black Dragon, and it's going to be the layer actions and everything, such as such and such. There's a lot to fucking go into this for each of these dragons, actually. So I'm going to get into it, and there's multiple different within each, so it's going to be ranging. I think it's all the dragon types within each color. So it's ancient, adult, young, and black dragon. So it's going to be a good bit. But I'm going to get straight into the lore. The black dragons, the most evil-tempered and vile of the chromatic dragons, black dragons collect the wreckage and treasures of fallen people. These dragons loathe seeing the weak prosper and revel in the collapse of humanoid kingdoms. They make their homes in fetid or fatigued swamps in crumbling ruins where kingdoms once stood. With deep-socketed eyes and broad nasal openings, a black dragon's face resembles a skull. Its curving, segmented horns are bone-colored near the base and darkened to dread black at the tips. Dead black at the tips. I think it's a dread. As a black dragon ages, the flesh around its horns and cheekbones deteriorates as though eaten by acid, leaving thin layers of hide that enhances its skeletal appearance. Black dragon's head is marked by spikes and horns. Its tongue is flat with a forked tip, drooling slime through acidic scent adds to the dragon's reek of rotting vegetation and foul water. When it hatches, black dragon has a glossy black scale. As it ages, its scale becomes thicker and duller, helping it blend into the marshes and blasted ruins that are its home. Brutal and cruel. All chromatic dragons are evil, but black dragons stand apart for their sadistic nature. A black dragon lives to watch its prey beg for mercy and will often offer the illusion of respite and escape before finishing off its enemies. A black dragon strikes its weakest enemies first, ensuring a quick and brutal victory, which it bolsters its ego as it terrifies the remaining foes. On the verge of a defeat, a black dragon does anything it can to save itself, but it accepts defeat before allowing any other creature to claim mastery over it. So basically, it would rather die than be a slave of some sort. So that makes sense. Or to claim that it owns it or something like that. Foes and servants. Black dragons hate and fear other dragons. They spy on draconic rivals from afar, looking for opportunities to slay weaker dragons and avoid stronger ones. A stronger dragon threatens it, a black dragon abandons his lair and seeks out new territory. Evil lizard folk venerate and serve black dragons, raiding humanoid settlements for treasure and food to give us tribute, and building crude draconic effigies along the borders of the dragon master's domain. A black dragon's malevolent influence might also cause a spontaneous creation of evil shambling mounds that seek out and slay good creatures, approaching the dragon's lair. Kobolds infest the lairs of many black dragons like vermin. They become as cruel and dark as their masters, often torturing and weakening captives with centipede bites and scorpion stings before delivering them to sate the dragon's hunger. That's fucked. Wealth of the ancients. Black dragons hoard the treasures and magic items of crumbled empires and conquered kingdoms to remind themselves of their greatness. The more civilizations a dragon outlasts, the more entitled it feels to claim the wealth of a current civilization for itself. Now for the lair. Black dragons dwell in swamps or on the frayed edges of civilization. A black dragon's lair is a dismal cave, a grotto, or ruin that's at least partially flooded, providing pools where the dragon rests and where its victims can ferment. The lair is littered with acid pit bones of previous victims and the fly-ridden carcasses of fresh kills. Washed over by crumbling statues, centipedes, scorpions, and snakes infest the lair, which are filled with the stench of decay and death. The lair actions, there's a whole bunch of fucking them, Jesus Christ. On initiative count 20, losing initiative ties, the dragon takes a lair action to cause one of the following effects. Dragon can't use the same two in a row. Or same effect 2 times in a row, my bad. Pools of water that the dragon can see within 120 feet within 20 feet of it, surge outward as kind of like a geyser, I'm assuming. But it says outward in a grasping tide. I kind of imagine a geyser. Any creature on the ground within 20 feet of such a pool must succeed a DC 15 strength saving throw or be pulled up to 20 feet into the water and knocked prone. So not like a geyser. I guess it's like how it said. but it kind of overlaps them and brings them in. So it kind of hits them, and then the receding tide brings them back. I think that's what it sounds like. The second one, a cloud of swarming insects fills a 20-foot radius sphere centered on a point that the dragon chooses within 120 feet. The cloud spreads around corners and remains until the dragon dismisses it as an action. Oh, this continues. I thought that was a period. If it dismisses it as an action, uses this layer action again, or dies, so basically it can just spawn a new one. This cloud is slightly obscured. Any creature in the cloud, when it appears, must make a DC 15 Constitution saving throw, or take 10 average 3d6 piercing damage on a failed save, or half as much on a successful one. A creature that ends its turn in the cloud takes 10 average 3d6 piercing damage. And then the last one is Magical Darkness. It spreads from a point the dragon chooses within 60 feet, filling a 15-foot radius sphere until the dragon dismisses it as an action, uses their layer action again, or dies. The darkness spreads around corners. A creature with dark vision can't see the dark through the darkness, and a non-magical light can't illuminate it. If any of the effects area overlap with an area of light created by a second level or lower, the spell that creates the light is dispelled. So basically, if a level 1 light spell is currently on and this gets cast, it just immediately snuffs it out, which is pretty cool. And it has some regional effects. The region containing a legendary black dragon's lair is warped by the draconic or the dragon's magic, which creates one or more of the following effects. The land within 6 miles of lair takes twice as long as normal to traverse, since the plants grow thick and twisted, and swamps are thick with reek and mud. Its water source within a mile of the lair is supernaturally fouled. Enemies of the dragon that drink such water regurgitate it within minutes. Ew. They throw up. Fog lightly obscures the land within 6 miles. If the dragon dies, vegetation remains as it's grown, but other effects fade over 1d10 days, which is actually pretty cool. So that's just the lore on it. Now, let's get to the ancient black dragon. It's gargantuan. It's obviously a dragon. It's chaotic evil. It has an AC of 22 naturally, and it has an HP count, Jesus Christ, average of 367. 21d20 plus 147. Movement speed of 40 feet, flight speed of 80 feet, and a swim speed of 40 feet. It has a strength of 27 plus 8, dex of 14 plus 2, constitution of 25 plus 7, intelligence plus, 16 plus 30, wisdom 15 plus 2, and a charisma of 19 plus 4. Wow. Its proficient saving throws are dexterity plus 9, constitution plus 14, wisdom plus 9, and charisma plus 11, which it's a plus 7 to proficiency bonus. Its proficient skills are perception, which is 16, and a stealth of 9. It's immune to acid. It has blind sight up to 60 feet and dark vision up to 120 feet, and it has a passive perception of 26. I need to slow down while talking. I'm just really stumbling over words. It speaks Common and Draconic, and a challenge rating of 21, 33,000 experience points. It's amphibious, so it can breathe air and water, and has legendary resistance, which, if it fails to save, it can choose to pass instead 3 times a day. It has multi-attack. It can use its frightful presence. It then makes 3 attacks, 1 with its bite and 2 with its claws. The bite. It's a melee weapon attack, plus 15 to hit, reach of 15 feet. Sorry, I read the 5 alone. 1 target only, 19 average, 2d10 plus 8 piercing damage, plus 9 average, 2d8 acid damage. Now the claw. It's a melee weapon attack, reach of 10 feet, plus 15 to hit, 1 target only, 15 average, 2d6 plus 8 slashing damage. Nope, no added damage. Its tail. It's a melee weapon attack, plus 15 to hit, reach of 20 feet, 1 target only, 17 average, 2d8 plus 8 bludgeoning damage. Its frightful presence. Each creature of the dragon's choice that is within 120 feet of the dragon and aware of it must succeed on a DC 19 wisdom saving throw or become frightened for 1 minute. Excuse me. A creature can repeat the saving throw at the end of each of its turns, ending the effect on itself on a success. If a creature saving throw is successful or the effect ends for it, the creature is immune for this ability, the frightful presence, for the next 24 hours. So, to that dragon's. It has an acid breath, which recharges on a 5 or 6 on a d6 roll. The dragon exhales acid in a 90-foot line that is 10 feet wide. Wow. Each creature in that line must make a DC 22 dexterity saving throw or take 67 average 15d8 acid damage on a failed save or half as much on a successful one. Then it has legendary actions, which go between other creatures' turns, not after its own, uh, and it regains these uses at the end of each of its turns. Now, note it only has 3 per round of combat. It can use It has an ability called Detect, which it's a perception check. It has the tail attack. Excuse me. It has a wing attack, which costs 2 actions, so it can do the wing attack and a tail attack or detect. The wing attack, it beats its wings. Each creature within 15 feet must succeed on a DC 23 dexterity saving throw or take 15 average 2d6 plus 8 bludgeoning damage and be knocked prone. The dragon can then fly up to half its flying speed, which isn't bad, actually. But yeah, that's the ancient black dragon, and it's wow, that's fucking healthy. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope that you guys leave a like and comment as I continue to bring Dungeons and Dragons lore and stats and such as that type of shit. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.